Yeah, if you see it right, I shared a link in our chat, in our Zoom chat, education.microsoft.com. En hyphen us. That's what I share in our what is that, WhatsApp group too. So
Yes, yes.
we are going to use that one. So let me share my screen and let's take it from there. Okay, so let me close some of them. I have too many. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can see.
You can see. Okay, good. So you can see this Microsoft screen, right? So Microsoft Educator Center, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I ping that link. So I recommend each and everyone, you don't have to do it now, but in your free time, right? So go through that link. So the first step, what we have to do, we have to register our account. So it's like you create an account and register that account. So once we register that, right? So here we see there are a lot of trainings. See, there are a lot of courses. Those are all like 204 courses. Those are all free. So when you finish all of them one by one, then we will get a certificate. So these are all free certificates from Microsoft. They will they will be so good on the resume. I mean, we are not going to complete all the 204 and we are not going to put all of them, right? But that's why what I did, I went through all these 204 topics, and I pick up like 5 to 6 topics for all of us. So whatever I think those are relevant and whatever I think we can put on the resume. So offered by Microsoft. So you can ask me why Microsoft is offering these courses free. So the main motto is Microsoft is trying to promote their products. They have a lot of products. Microsoft keep expanding its products, but time to time purchasing, acquiring other companies and developing new products, right? So their main intention is to get the users like us familiarized with their products. If you see them, right? So let us open today's topic. So this is introduction to cloud. Introduction to cloud, new course. Okay. So there are several ways we can go there. We can go to this training course, and once you get the course, you can search for the particular course. So what is it?
Just a question, Andy. So this is all these are like the free courses, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I try my best not to put any extra burden on you guys because you're already trying for job. So so these are all free courses. So okay, you can directly go to the training and search by courses, and then you can search by that, and it will take us here. I already complete it. That's why once you complete it, it will be attached to the profile. But if you want to directly go there, just click on the courses and you can search it. So it will take us here. So let us start with this one course, Microsoft. Then I will give you the list of all 5 or 6 courses, whatever I pick it up for everyone. You can take it from there. We can discuss it, but you don't have to wait on me. If you're comfortable, you can proceed further and you can complete those courses and get the certification. So if you open it, right? So pretty much this is what you see, table of contents. So in the table of content, you see that there are different topics, introduction to the cloud, you see them, right? Like that. Demystifying the cloud, what is digital transformation. Those are like very simple topics. If you see them, right, those are like just 10 minutes. On average, those are like, up to 10 minutes. So those are very easy to follow. 10 minutes. Some of them are like even 5 minutes. Some of them are like 12 minutes. So if those are like 13 topics on average, if you say 10 minutes, right, it should not take more than 2 hours. Very easy. They explain very well, and just you can follow in your comfortable pace. So once you are done with all those courses, today we will discuss. See, I prepare some few slides and we will discuss definitely. But in addition to that, I strongly recommend you. So go through all of them. So whatever we discuss, right, that will be definitely be helpful while you are going through those chapters. Then once you are done with that, then take this quiz. This quiz has a 24 questions, and if you answer 80% of them correct, and you will get a what is that, certification. So the certification is something like this: Introduction to Cloud for Leaders, right? So view certification. So in the resume, while we are working on the resume preparation, then I will help you out what to put, how to place it in the resume. But what is really important is the concept is really good. See, cloud is really, it's a really ongoing trend, right? So that is really good. And second thing is this, though it is a free certification, so it will be issued by Microsoft. So that is good, right? So I strongly encourage all of you, go through this course and complete that certification. So there are several ways you can go again. So go to the training. First, you register to this web page. I provide you URL. Register your website. Register your account, and go there. And there are courses, and you can search by that. So and you can navigate like that. So you can start the course. So I already completed. That's why it's like course completion. But you will see that starting button and the resume courses. Okay. And I have answers for all of them, but I don't think you really need my help. So once you are done with all these courses, I'm pretty sure you guys will yes it. Good thing is the same questions are in the same order. You can literally give this exam like n number of times. Okay, we can go through.
So there is no foundation for the limitation to.
No limitation, no paid. Those are all free. So you can take the test like n number of times.
Okay.
So the thing is that there's 24 questions in the same order. And you see, for example, intentionally, let me do one thing. Actually, I know this answer, but intentionally, I'm doing like something put wrong, right? So, but it will do that. It will prompt you correct answer. You got it. You see that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see that, right? Even though I put the wrong answer, right? So it will prompt the correct answer. So you can remember it. It's like open book, right? So you feel free to use whatever this portal offer, right? So there is no limitations for it. So now you see that it gives the right answer. So now you remember it or note it down or take the photo, picture, whatever it is, whatever work for you. So then I go to the next one, and I know that putting everything on a single page. Okay, this is a single point of attack is attack. Single point of attack is the correct answer. But just I want to show you the example, right? I put like third one. Then I go there. You got it? Answer is first one, but I select the third one, so it gave me wrong. You take a picture, whatever it is, now we know that, right? Answer. Yeah, whatever work for you. It's an open book, means you literally you're feel free to use whatever works for you. Okay. So, but I strongly recommend you go through all of them, learn all these concepts. Okay. So now you know, right, how it works, right? Yeah. If you have any question, just unmute it. If you don't have any question, just continue to mute it. Okay. Okay. Let me go to the next one. So now let us go to our PowerPoint. So I pretty much take everything from there, but I added like a few of them, just to give you like a little bit more details. Let's see. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so let me. Okay, can you see my PowerPoint presentation?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, so let's start it from there. Okay, so first of all, what is cloud computing, right? Let us start with the basics, then we can, is it good enough? The display is good enough.
Yes, it is good.
Yes.
It's clear.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, what is cloud computing, right? So this definition, we can get it anywhere. We don't have to, I don't have to, or else, we don't have to read the same thing. But cloud computing is a delivery of computer services, server, storage, databases over the internet, right? So, I will share this PPT also. So one example of our, day to day, our cloud computing is our email. We don't install anything. We don't install anything on our software. Just we go to the browser, then we do that. So, or else the lesson what we have discussed just now, that is a cloud computing platform too, because that is a learning platform deployed on a web portal running on a server. Just we keep using that one, right? We keep giving the online exams, we keep doing that. So this is all cloud computing. This is an example of cloud computing, right? Cloud provides typically charge for cloud computing services based on usage. Yeah, we already use cloud computing. Yes, without knowingly or unknowingly, we are using cloud computing every day. When we are using Gmail, that is a cloud computing platform. When we're using Facebook, that is a cloud computing. So we are using a lot of software without worrying so much about the internal details. So that is the beauty of cloud. So the more we will progress, right? So we will discuss more. So if you see that, right, any cloud architecture, it is pretty much like that. So if you see that, right, the back end, they have like the cloud computing, they have like regular servers, they have servers, they have database servers, they have like a lot of networking routers. There is a lot of details. But as a user like you and me, we don't have to worry about all of them because they're all hidden from us. So instead of worrying about even the hardware details, instead of worrying about the basic details, just we can do our day-to-day work. That is the beauty of cloud computing. So if you see the cloud internet, that means that it is abstraction. Abstraction means it hides all the internal details, and it presents whatever is necessary to do our day-to-day work. So let me give a real life example. So how many people open your car, bonnet and look at the engine? It's a scary, right? If you look at this lot of engine parts, whatever it is, right? It's not as beautiful as our car, right? But how many times do we really have to worry about it? Whenever we drive the car, do we really worry about all the internal details of the car, like radiator? Until and unless we get the engine check, that is a different story. But day to day, in general terms, right? We don't worry about it. How many bolts the car has? We don't worry about all the internal details of the car. Just we will enjoy that car ride, right? Pretty much the cloud computing, pretty much we don't have to worry about a lot of internal details. That will be taken care of by cloud providers. So as a developers, when they are using the cloud computing platform, they don't have to worry about so many details. Just cloud computing, whatever it provides, the cloud platform, they start doing the development. Administrators, they don't have to worry about it. They don't have to worry about it, nuts and bolts, right? What they do, they operate the stuff, whatever the cloud computing provides. So, the more we discuss, right, it will be more clear. Okay. So don't be confused, don't be worried if something, you don't get it right. Okay. See, compared to the picture from the previous one, last one, internet, that is a cloud abstraction. It hides every detail, right? But if you go little bit, it has a lot of components. There are servers, there are servers, there are like EC2s, there are a lot of servers, there are applications, platforms, storage, and networking. There are a lot of devices. So those are all provided by cloud providers. So cloud community, you see that, right? There is a public cloud, there are different kind of clouds, public cloud, hybrid cloud, private cloud. We will discuss later. Infrastructure as a services, there are like multiple services types, whatever cloud can provide. Okay, we can discuss all of them. So my main motto of showing this diagram, the previous diagram, and the next diagram is the cloud abstract the basic details from us, but it does have a lot of internal parts. Our car, right? Our car has a lot of internal parts. Just we don't worry about it. That's all. And if you see that, right, the cloud computing provides wide variety of cloud functionalities. As we discussed, email, address books, training, documentation, pictures, blogs, like a social media. Those are all cloud applications. There are a lot of cloud applications. One beauty of cloud application is just you can access the device through internet. As long as we have internet connection, we're all set. So there maybe we need to use different login mechanism, but pretty much, as long as we are on the internet, we can hit the cloud as long as we have the access. So there are multiple cloud providers, players in the market. The prominent one is like AWS, Amazon Web Services, and second one is like Azure. And we have like a Google, and we have Oracle, we have Alibaba Cloud, IBM Cloud. There are like multiple players, but the majority of the share is AWS, Amazon Web Services. They own the majority of the website market. But Azure is a Microsoft product. They're catching up really fast. So second thing is, okay, what is the advantage of cloud computing? Cloud computing advantages: cost saving, flexibility, 24/7 availability and reliability. And you see that scalability, performance, automatic software update, easy backup and restoration, cost saving. Okay, I will explain a little bit. I don't go so much detail in that because we have a lot of slides to cover, and let us hit the actual lesson. Okay, see, cloud computing is taken care of by the cloud providers. So we don't have to worry about it, how they maintain it. So that is their headache. And the reliability. So when we take any cloud services, they guarantee like 99.95 or 99.98. That kind of guarantee. They guarantee that their system is reliable. Their system is it's not error prone, right? So they give that guarantee. So that is the responsibility of the cloud provider. So we don't worry about it. Scalability depends on our need. We can use the servers on the cloud provider as many as we want. See, for example, if we are a merchant, so our application, right, our merchant applications, for example, let's go back to our Macy's application. If we are the owner of Macy's, right, our Macy's application runs on a server. So instead of purchasing like hundreds of thousands of servers upfront, so we will take using the cloud, we will take the servers as many as needed. Let us say 50 servers. But what happens during the holidays time? Holidays time, there is a lot of demand. So there are more customers use our website. So obviously our website needs more system resources. So whenever it is needed, so we will purchase more, purchase power, computing power from the cloud computing. That is a scalability. Whenever we need it, we can increase it. Whenever we don't need it, we can decrease it. In the real life, it won't happen. If you purchase like 100 laptops, right? So they will be with us. So maybe we can sell them as a scrap, but we cannot downsize it. All of a sudden, if our workload grows, right, again we have to purchase like another 100 machines. That is waste of resources, right? So instead of that one, it is like a as long as we go, that's what we can pay. So that is called scalability. Performance, automatic software updates. We don't have to worry about it. Windows update or Linux updates or operating system updates. Actually, the cloud provider, they take care of these updates automatically for us. So we don't have to worry about it. Easy backup and restore. They have a backup mechanism and the restore mechanism. And if we don't have to worry about it, if our server blow up. So this kind of stuff, we don't have to worry about it. Cost saving, right? So we don't have to put upfront purchasing a lot of hardware. We don't have to purchase it. So just it's like a telephone bill. If you use more telephone, not like fixed line, I'm talking about it. If something is like, if you use more phone, we will pay it. If you use less, we will pay less. Or maybe gas, the more we run it, we have to pay more, right? If you run less, just we don't have to store a big tank in our home, right? A big gas tank, we don't keep it definitely, right? So this kind of thing, actually, cloud computing, you pay on go. The more you use it, the more you pay. The less you use it, less you pay. So that's why there is no down pay or spending a lot of resources upfront. There is nothing. Unlimited storage. As our business grows, if you need more resources, we can purchase. We can purchase from cloud computing. These are some of the basic things. And then let us go to the next one. Okay, if you see that, right, the cloud market actually, it is growing like really exponentially. So pretty much, you see that these are the major players like AWS, and they use, if you see the job market, right, AWS is pretty much in skills are like in high demand. So if somebody has a AWS skill set, and some of the related technologies like a Kubernetes or Docker or something, right, the market, if they have a decent experience, they don't have to be super architect level, but if they have a decent knowledge, job market is really good. 150K is like very common. So nowadays we hear that salaries are very common. So there is some learning curve, but people who can really passionate about it, definitely it's very easy also. So you see that there are job markets and the trends, and if you see the trends, right, see it's growing, continuously growing. If you see that, right, there are like more employers. They're looking for people with cloud computing skill set compared to 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, right? If you keep seeing that, right, there are like more employers. They're looking for that. So the job market is really good, secure. And cloud administrator, network systems. I told you, right, cloud hides all the details basic level from us, but it does have a lot of complex pieces. To maintain all of them, it needs a lot of workforce, right? Network system engineers, data communication, information security, system analysts. There are a lot of jobs, actually, tons of jobs. So this is what actually we discuss it, the cloud computing market. If you see that, right, it's growing like anything. So 28, about like 80 billion dollars, but now it's like a 2028, 2021. You see that, right? It's still growing. It is not saturated yet. It's still growing on. And many companies, actually 50% of the companies even not totally on the cloud. There are a lot of companies actually still in the initial stage, whatever reason. Some of them, whatever reason, still they are transition phase. So there is a lot of scope for growth opportunities. So don't think that oh yeah, cloud is already saturating that kind of thing. So yeah. So there are a lot of jobs. Job market is good, but the only thing is we need to invest some time for learning. So see, these things are not necessary. These things are not necessary for our cloud exam, but these are the things I capture from outside, just just to give you a little encouraging news. So whatever hard work we put it on the cloud front, definitely it will pay dividends, friends. Okay, introduction to the cloud data centers. Okay, now let us get back to our lessons. What is data center? See, one in my previous workplace, right? So before holidays, we had a major outage. So in one of my previous workplace, they maintain all the servers in the downtown in a building. So now right, maintaining a lot of servers in a downtown, what is that real estate, how difficult, how costly it is. Just a car parking garage itself is cost a lot of money. So you think about it, maintaining a big building full of servers. So it was a really expensive process. So what happened, there was an outage. So then they had to look for alternative service. Then in the Suwannee, if you drive through the Satellite Boulevard, there are like two data centers. One is small and one is a little bit, a really bigger one. So there is a data center. What is data center? Data center is a place where they maintain all the servers for us. So generally data center, they pick up a place where it is hazard free. And not only that, they don't construct in the middle of very crowded or very prime what is that real estate area. Generally they do it a little bit away from regular housing quarters. So that's what they do. So the data center people, they maintain all the servers, they take care of all the power, they take care of all the internet. They have a fiber optics. Most of the data center, almost all the data centers, they have a fiber optics. The infrastructure, they take care of it. They take care of all the power, they take care of all the regulations. And safety measurements. So we don't have to worry about anything. What we have to do, there will be network connection between our company and the data center, right? So just we have to pay for them to maintaining our servers. Now we are totally free to maintain our servers in our costly downtown office. So that is a data center. So this cloud operation, what happened, in the cloud environment, they have like a multiple data centers, not like one, multiple data centers. And these data centers are in a different locations. See what happened if something happens, flooding, if Atlanta, God forbid, and nothing happened, but something happened here. One data center is flooded, right? So what will happen? All the servers will be damaged and all the information will be corrupted and it's gone, right? So people cannot afford the business, right? So that's why what they do, they choose multiple locations. They choose multiple locations and they maintain multiple data centers. So something happen in city A, but still the servers in city B or servers in city C are safe. So that's why there is a lot of cloud computing give like a lot of flexibility. We can literally maintain the servers in different locations, and if something happens in one location, there is always a guarantee that the information is not corrupted. So moving to virtual
I
machines.
have a question here.
Yeah.
So you said like there are different data centers, right? So I just wanted to know, for example, Macy's just hire keeping information on one data center, how that information is available on the other data center to the same information.
Yeah, that's why there is something called duplication. What they will do, right? So generally most of the people, what they do when they maintain data center in one location, so another data center is in different location. So what they will do, there will be duplication between these two.
So they have to pay twice, like to maintain both the records.
Yeah, actually, when we use the cloud service, cloud service come up with certain agreements, right? So
Okay.
when we purchase, they have different plans. So when we pick up any certain plan, right? So they automatically support us. The plan covers automatic data backup support.
Got it.
Yeah,
Thank
there are
you.
like multiple plans. For some not Macy's, but some applications, right? See, for example, if we are developing some game or something, right? It's not in the production, but it's just like it's like a development phase, just development phase. So for the development phase, right, it's not that much worth. Something happens, that's okay, still we can rebuild it, right? In that case, it doesn't make any sense to take a plan which covers multiple data replication or application, multiple high availability. It's called high availability. We don't have to go for that planning, actually. Some applications, just for scientific purpose, people just like play, they want to test some applications, whatever it is, right? It is not as important as like Macy's application because it has a lot of financial data, right? Yeah, so they offer different plans, actually.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. So yeah, data centers share their resources with the business and consumers, allowing them to pick up and choose the services that they wish to consume. Public cloud provides supply secure, reliable, scalable computing services that we simply connect. I told you, right? So we don't worry about all the internal details. Just we connect through the internet and keep using them. And they will take rest of the things will be taken care of for us, and just we will pay their charges. So putting everything on a single machine, yeah. And one more thing is, as a Soumi asked, right? Why do we need like a multiple data centers or multiple locations? So that's a little bit bigger level. But what happens? See, for example, Macy's. If Macy's puts all the information on a single data center or single server or set of servers, what happens? If something happens to the servers, their business will be down, right? So that's why it is always not advisable to put all the information in the single set of servers or a single physical machine. So because it is a single point of failure. If something happen at one point, that's all. That's why it's always advisable to benefit, to spread it across, to maintain it multiple locations. So that's why putting everything on a single physical machine not only means a single point of failure, but also single point of attack. Nowadays, the security attacks are like really rampage, right? So what happened if somebody, the ransom attack nowadays, right? The cyber guys get into our system, they lock our system unless we pay them some money. That is called ransom, right? And what happened if there is only one mission, right? It is very easy. It's like a sitting duck. Even the security guy, the cyber attack guys, it's very easy because they know that they know the they know that particular location, IP addresses, and it's very easy. So that's why it's always advisable to move to different virtual machines. Instead of exposing so many internal details to the outside world, it is always advisable to maintain an abstraction like a cloud, right? Abstraction and maintaining in different locations or different missions. So what are the advantages? Companies are embracing new technologies, focusing on business outcome, speed of cloud. Yeah, cloud is speed actually. Everything depends on internet, right? So as long as we have a good internet connection, we are all set. So we are all good. Yeah. So as long as we are good with internet connection, right? So we are good actually. So this everything, so once we are connected to the cloud, pretty much, we are in the game with the cloud, pretty much in the cloud principles. The cloud capacity, whatever it is, the future of the cloud will help make our car smart. Nowadays, right, you see a lot of applications nowadays. We have a lot of smart cars coming up, right? So even driverless, a lot of issues, a lot of things coming on, right? So how we do that, right? So we will connect to the apps. We will connect to the apps. Some of the apps are like, like those are like artificial intelligence enabled apps. So pretty much, knowingly or unknowingly, we are using a lot of cloud-based applications. Siri. So these are all apps actually. So that help regulate traffic, eliminate congestion, increase public safety, or reduction pollution. So there are a lot of usages actually, lot of usages. So the cloud can host a wide variety of data.
Yeah.
Data which will help us in our day-to-day.
Brother, I have a question.
Oh, yeah,
That how that
yeah. Please, Nancy.
how can the cloud can help to control the traffic?
Cloud cannot help. Cloud is like a abstraction, right? But the apps, whatever apps they're running on the cloud, so we use the apps, right? So it's pretty much cloud provides the abstraction, but the apps they run on the servers, right? So but we don't have to worry about all those abstractions. Just we will install one app in our mobile. That's all we need to worry about it. So basic intention of giving that detail is cloud takes care of the computing behind that one, how the app work, how it interacts with other devices, or so those are all details will be taken care of for us.
So here we are talking about, I think, the 5G network also, right? The wireless connection.
Pretty much nowadays, almost all the applications are like,
Yes.
Yeah.
The wireless smart city projects and all.
Yeah. So we don't have to worry about all the internal details actually. Yeah. So pretty much.
Okay, so basically, whatever data is stored in database or whatever server, whatever we say. So instead of saving it physically in a location, we're serving it. I mean, we are saving it in the cloud, or is the cloud is just the backup of whatever stored in the servers? Is this the cloud is backup, or just everything is stored in the cloud?
Yeah, that is a good question. So the data backup is one of the functionalities of the cloud. If you see that, right? So the cloud provides storage data. So that is one of them. But cloud provides applications, like our apps. And the cloud provides software platforms. So if somebody wants to design a games, right? So they don't have to start from scratch. There are cloud platforms, cloud applications. They can just, plug and play. See, for example, sometimes I design few what is that YouTube thumbnails or something, right? There is a website called Canva. So when I go to the Canva, right, it comes with a lot of platforms. It comes with a lot of templates, right? So those are all cloud. That is a cloud enabled platform. And even I use another video editing tool called Animator. Animator is a cloud computing platform. It comes with a lot of already built-in features for me. So I don't have to do all of them. Just I use my web browser, just connect it to that cloud-based application, just I use them. So cloud provides multiple benefits, as you said that, right, Raji? So one of them is like the storage data, and second thing is like providing applications and providing servers. There is a virtual desktop. They have like a multiple benefits, but definitely the storage data is one of them. Like our Apple phone storage, right? We have a extra storage where we can store all of our pictures, whatever it is, right? So that is one of them. Yeah. There are like multiple benefits, but definitely storage is one of them. Got it?
Yes.
So, Sister Nancy, your question is like the pollution, right? So, I mean, see, just I don't know if you ask me the complete details how it work. I don't know, but I do believe that. So, whatever the computational behind, right, the computing power behind that provided by the cloud. So when we have any app on our mobile, so we don't really worry about it, what it happens right behind the scene. So pretty much, the cloud-based computational power, it will take care of it. So just, it provide abstraction. So that's what, actually, I think the author meant to say something about it. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, security in the cloud. So pretty much, we discussed right earlier, security in the cloud. So pretty much, it is a common responsibility. Of course, the cloud providers, they provide security, but as a users, actually, it is our responsibility too. So pretty much when we hit the, when we log into the cloud applications, make sure that we use multi-factor authentication kind of, extra layer of security. Make sure that, we don't compromise our credentials, but actual basic security provided by the, what is that, cloud providers. Demystifying the cloud, there are different layers in the cloud. First of all, like infrastructure as a services, platform as a services, software as a service. So in the cloud, actually, everything is a solution. Everything is provided as a service. Whatever service you want it, you pay for it and you get it. It's like a ready-made package. So one is like infrastructure as a service, second one is a platform, third one is like a software as a service. So we keep hearing this word again and again whenever we talk about cloud. So pretty much we need to be, we need to know these basic concepts. So what is infrastructure as a service? What is a platform as a service? What is a software as a service? Let us discuss in the next slide or one or two slides after. So as I told, right, the abstraction covers all the inner details, but it doesn't mean that the cloud system is not complex. It is very complex. There are multiple layers. There are multiple players, and multiple security mechanism. There are a lot of inner details need to be taken care of it. That's why there are a lot of jobs. The more and more the cloud arena is growing, the more and more opportunities are available in the market. So because they need a lot of administrators, engineers, it is all the people, they work behind the scene. So as a regular users, we don't have to worry about all of it. So yeah, this is like a building block. He's saying that, there are like different layers. So we will discuss a little bit in the next slide. Yeah, you see, you pay a cloud provider to provide and maintenance physical hardware and operating system for us. Just we pay for them and they will provide everything. So we don't have to buy the machine. We don't have to maintain. That is called actually bare metal. We don't have to buy the bare metal. We don't have to buy the actual physical device. See, to use Gmail, I don't have to buy a server. Just I go to their web page, just I hit their web page, just I keep using Google. And like any other website, for example, as I told you, right? So for my editing, software editing, Animator, just I take a yearly subscription, just I go there, just I keep using that one. So I don't have to worry about so many. So nowadays it is very easy. So there are tons of applications are available, cloud-based applications are available. So we really don't have to worry about anything. See, years back for video editing, generally we used to buy a software, installing on our laptop, and we used to do the editing part. Nowadays, there are a lot of cloud-based applications. Even we don't have to install any software on our local laptop. Only thing what we have to do, we have to open a browser, open that website, using our login credential, pick the server, go into the hit the web browser portal, go there, and already you see that lot of templates, lot of features available. Just keep using, play around that. So how simple it is. We don't have to worry about any buying a software, installing on a software. We don't have to worry about all of it. Just we take a subscription and we use them. The subscription, as we discussed, right, Soumya, it comes with the different plans. There is a premium plan, there's a regular plan, there is there are some free usage. It may not come up with a lot of all the features like that. So demystifying the cloud platform, you concentrate on the application and the services that you wish to provide. Everything else become the responsibility of the cloud provider. Like our web editing or video editing, we don't have to worry about all of them. Just we will take the subscription, we pay the subscription, go there, we play around with that applications and services. So the cloud provider maintains everything, leaving without no coding, no deployment concerns, and minimal administration. So friends, I have another example to share with. See, if you post any picture on the Facebook, right? So don't you think there are a lot of things happening behind the scene? So there are a lot of things happen, right? But we don't have to worry about all of them because Facebook maintains all of them. So they provide software as a solution. Facebook is a software. This as a software as a solution, so that we don't have to worry about all the internal details. So whenever we post a picture, whenever we put a comment, there is a lot of changes. There is a coding. There is a lot of deployment. There are a lot of things happen actually behind the scene. So that is the beauty of cloud computing. We don't have to worry about all of them. So all those are abstraction for us. So just we focus on whatever we're supposed to do, we do it, and we're done.
So Ravi, I have one question here. Like,
oh yeah, please.
Yeah, what about the banks, right? The bigger banks like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, just an example. Are they using the provider service? They have their own data.
Yeah, generally what these banks they do, right?
Just for security.
Yeah. Nowadays, almost all the applications, those are on the cloud, right? So what they do, so the banks used to have their own data centers years back, right? But nowadays, what they are doing, they are using this clouds actually. They are using AWS or Azure. They are deploying their applications in the AWS or Azure. So AWS, Amazon Web Services or Azure, they maintain their hardware for the banks. They provide the security for the bank applications. So the bank applications nowadays, we see all the mobile deposits and everything. Those are all cloud-based applications.
Right.
Yeah. Many times, we nowadays, how many people go to bank to deposit a check? Very few, right? Because we have everything is at our fingertips.
Sure. Thank you.
Sure. So as I told you, right? So these are the examples, like infrastructure as a services. One example is Amazon Web Services, VMware. That is one example. Platform as a services. There is example is Windows, Azure, and Force.com. Software as a solution, like our Google Email or Salesforce. Salesforce is one example too. Salesforce is why Salesforce is so successful compared to many of the CRM solutions. Salesforce pretty much offer this cloud-based application. So there is no installation, there is nothing at all. Just we take this subscription, log into their Salesforce, go there and just keep using our CRM applications. Very, very easy. The learning curve is very less, and we don't have to deal with all this installation part. So it's pretty simple. As long as our computer is decent enough to run a web browser, so pretty much we will hit this Salesforce website and we can keep using it. Salesforce, that is a really great example of using the power of software as a solution. So the Salesforce guys,
Salesforce like ServiceNow, like mostly.
Yeah, CRM actually. CRM, software as a solution actually. So Salesforce, what they do, they design their own product, they develop their own product, they deploy their own product. Once everything is ready, just they will provide, here it is the Salesforce, just keep use it, right? So they give it. So only part what we have to do based on our company requirements, based on our company specifications, right? Just we will play around with that. So generally what we do in Salesforce, right? In the company top level, who is on the hierarchy, then we will add the reporting structure. And if there are any escalations, any escalations, if somebody escalate any issue, right? So where it should go, the workflows. So this kind of mechanism just we will design using the Salesforce. Or any if any donor donates any money, right? So who should be informed, or how the money will be accountable, or how it will generate the reports. It's automatic, it can automatic all those actions around certain events. So based on our specific business, just we have to deal with those specific details, but we don't have to worry about it how Salesforce is providing all those functionalities, because Salesforce already developed those functionalities for us, and it will provide their website as a software as a solution that is called SaaS. And so just we have to pay there for the subscription. That's all. So we don't have to worry about their hardware. We don't have to worry about buying a software and installing our machines. We don't have to worry about anything. So that is, if something happens, Salesforce time to time, they will upgrade their software. They will apply security patches because there is a lot of security threats, right? Security attacks, vulnerabilities. So they will take care. They will take care of everything for us. Just we have to pay the subscription. Just play with it.
SaaS is what? Can you repeat it, please?
Yeah, software as a solution. Software as a solution.
So,
They will build everything, and they will give it a software as a package.
Okay.
It's a ready-made, like buying like a biryani. We don't have to worry about it. Just pay the money, get it the biryani. So we don't have to worry about it. Again, cooking and all the stuff, right? So it's like software as a solution. They provide software as a package. Just we'll pay, and just we will play around with that software. Infrastructure infrastructure, just they provide some basic servers. Some people, they want to develop their own software, right? So they will take like few servers, virtual servers from these service providers, and they will develop the software. So in some other applications, not only the platform as a service, right? Not only basic servers, but also they will install the basic required software packages. On top of it, people can develop their own product. But software as a solution, everything is ready for us. Everything is done for us. Just they will give the software as it is, like the web editing or Salesforce. Then we log into that software page. It's like Gmail. Just we go to the Gmail site, right? So that is also software as a solution. Gmail, they do everything for us. Just we open our Gmail account, just we log in there, we keep sending emails, whatever it is, right? So those things actually, those are our business specific need, but we don't have to worry about it, how the mail server work behind the scene. So when we use Gmail, how many times we really have to worry about internal details? Not many times, right? So we don't have to worry about it because Gmail already provides this whole mail service as a package. That is a software as a solution. So nowadays business, right? So earlier it was different, but nowadays everyone expect their business happen like in a fingertips. Should be like should be very quick enough. So customer expect flexibility and lightning fast response time. See, when we click on any website, right? If it takes like a few seconds, can all of us look into our mirror, see our expressions, right? So definitely, we are not happy. So nowadays the business model is like that. People are expecting flexibility in the meantime, really fast. So if you cannot provide that, we will lose the business. Competitors will go. So if you maintain our bare metal servers, if you want to maintain our own infrastructure, then we are responsible for the speed. But when we use the cloud services already internet connected, right? So they already have a sophisticated infrastructure and security mechanism, and even the latency is like a slowness, right? So they have already mechanism to address this latency. So response time they always work on improving this response time. So that's why all these internal details, when we use any cloud services, that is the headache of the cloud provider. So we don't have to worry about it. So whatever we discuss, a lot of them, you will see them in those 24 questions. So companies can empower their workforce tools, Microsoft Office 365. Many of you guys, right? Nowadays, people are using this Office, Microsoft 365 and the Teams, a lot of products actually. So now they are all coming, they're available in the cloud. See, once we store for one example, I will tell you. if I share a file with you guys, I can upload. Where can I upload? I can upload in the Google Drive, right? I can upload a Google Drive and I can share that link to you. So when you access that link, and you can access that document. So to access the document, as long as the link is valid, the link is available, you can access the document from anywhere. You can access from mobile, you can access from anywhere, right? That is the beauty of cloud. So once it is on the cloud, once it is uploaded on the cloud, you can access from anywhere. So Office 365 also like that. Earlier, Microsoft Office is installed on our local machine. We will work here, and it's a local work actually. But now the Office 365 tools, whatever we work here, we will save it on the Office 365 cloud. Then you can access from anywhere. So nowadays, schools also they're using like for their all the assignments, teacher work, everything, right? The kids, they work here and they will upload in the cloud, and teacher can access, and they will grade it, and they will you can access anytime, and you can see the grades. That is the beauty and one example of Office, the cloud product actually. The productive worker is not who is bound to desk. See, the next one, you see, the productive worker is not one who is bound to a desk, but on that is free to connect from anywhere. See, whatever we discussed it, he put it in a sentence. So that is the beauty of cloud. So once you are connected to the internet, we are all set. We can access from anywhere. So if I upload my pictures, right, in my, whatever it is, the editing tool, right, Animator or Canva. So I can access from anywhere as long as I remember my login and password. So think about impact digital, disruption. The world largest estimation hub on one no media. Okay, so he gave like a few examples, right? So the power of digital players. See, for example, Uber. How many cars Uber actually really owns? None, right? Uber runs the app that is on the cloud app. Uber does not own any cars. I mean, in the regular business, the people, they own their own cars. The Uber drivers, they own their own car. They bring their own car, and they will provide the taxi service for Uber. But Uber, what it does, it just maintain that web app. Similarly, Airbnb, right? Airbnb does not own our home, right? Airbnb does not own all the hotels, but Airbnb does a decent, very, very, huge business, right? What they do, they maintain a cloud-based application, and we are all using that application. So actually, the provider is somebody else, user is somebody else, but the cloud providers, you see that how smart they are. We are using their application, and even if I want to put my house for rent, I approach them, and if I want to rent a home, I will approach them. So just we are using those cloud-based applications. The good thing is they're really flexible, they're fast enough, and they're readily available from any part of the world. So that's why we are all using it. So it's very convenient and it's very transparent. When we use our mobile app, when we use that app, right, that how much the the taxi guy is charging us. So everything is very transparent.
So the example you are giving, the Airbnb, that the owner of the house we will contact, or the site on which we are registered our house we will contact.
Airbnb app, actually. Airbnb app
Okay.
will take care of us. See, if I want to put my house for Airbnb, right, I will contact the Airbnb guys. So there is an agreement between me and Airbnb. But see, if a customer wants to rent a home for a week or so for holidays, right? So he will contact Airbnb. So the Airbnb is a platform, that's a cloud platform. So it is a facilitator between two parties. It's like a middleman. It takes care of all the work for us. Yeah. So when I want to put the house, I don't have to worry about a lot of details. So just I contact him, and I follow the Airbnb terms, and I'm all set. When when any customer wants to take a home, vacation, whatever it is, right, he does not have to worry about so many details. Just to use the Airbnb cloud-based app, and he will follow their guidelines. He pay the money, whatever it is. So that's what he does.
So one more question, like about the Microsoft 365. Like I have seen in most of the jobs, like people are asking good knowledge of Microsoft 365.
Yeah.
So can you give little more information about that thing?
Actually, we have one more certification. One of those 7 certifications is on Microsoft 365.
Okay, sure.
But I can share a few details. Yeah, we don't have to wait until that. See, Microsoft, we have all these Microsoft Office products, right? PowerPoint, Excel, and Office space, Word document.
Right.
All
Yeah.
this, all these products, the package actually, the package, even they include the team, and they provide all of them as a cloud-based solutions. Earlier, see, MS Word generally we purchase this Word, Microsoft Office we purchase, we install on our laptop and we use it, right? Instead of that one, now they are providing all of them as a web-based solution. So what we have to do, we have to purchase 365 license actually. Instead of installing, we purchase the license. Those are all on the cloud actually. Cloud mean like our Gmail. So that is not confined to my local machine. So once I have my 365 account, once I do any work on the Office 365, I can access from anyone's laptop. I can borrow any one of your laptop and I can access my work and I can do that. Earlier, before the cloud, if I have the Word documents or if I have the PowerPoint presentations, if I work on my mission, right? If I go to some other place, if I borrow my friend's laptop, can I access from there? No, right? Because all my work is here. All my work is on my computer. It's localized.
Right.
But when I
Yes.
upload my work onto the cloud, Office 365, that is a cloud. I can go to India. I can go any part of the world, wherever there is internet. Just I can access my work. How flexible it is. Not
Right.
only that,
Rest
devices.
of the functions will be same. Only thing that's on the cloud, right?
Yeah. They are providing pretty much. They are providing all the functionalities. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Even we can transfer files between our local machine to the cloud, and cloud to our local machine. We can do that. It's very flexible and very convenient. And what about money? See, if I purchase, say for example, if I purchase Office 360, not Office 365, Microsoft Office. I'm throwing an example, right? So
Hmm.
after 2 years, what will happen if it is like old version or my machine is old? If I purchase another laptop, then I might have to buy another license, right?
This happens generally, right?
Yeah.
Happening. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you take this license of Office 365, we don't have to worry about anything. We don't have, because when there is a new version comes, when the new patch comes, patch mean any increment, right? If they have any security vulnerabilities, what they will do, address that security vulnerabilities, they will release a piece of software that is called patch, a deliverable, right? So they will take care of it. We don't have to worry about it. So
This is for mainly office use only, or or like people like us also can buy, or it's a high cost.
no,
don't
for
know.
all of us nowadays, IT people who use Office, Office 365 a lot, and especially teams who use a lot for our communication, Office communication.
Okay.
Yeah. Nowadays, school, all the children they use Office 365 tools very widely, because it's very convenient for all the teachers actually, especially in the remote learning environment, right? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's pretty much like for communication, Office 365 based communication, Office, Microsoft Office based communication, but it is on cloud version.
Sure.
They come up with a lot of features actually. They keep adding. Microsoft is very good at acquiring companies, right? So and they keep adding a lot of functionalities.
Thank you so much.
So why use cloud? Okay, why should we use the cloud computing? Already we discussed a lot of things actually: cost, scale, security, innovations, time to market. Right? It's very quick innovations. See, the good thing is cloud computing is cloud computing. So there are a lot of third parties actually. They work very closely with these cloud providers. So they come up with a lot of innovative products. Lot of new products are coming up actually. So there is a lot of machine learning, artificial intelligence based tools are coming up actually. So the more and more, those are really sophisticated, and we can see a lot of innovations in the directions. And cost is always like whatever we use it, we pay that. Scalability mean we can increase, decrease based on our need, right? So let's go to the next one. Okay, what is the advantage of cloud? See, when we use cloud, right? When we use any cloud application, we don't have to worry about it. Software, installing, machines, buying a new laptop, installing the software. We don't have to worry about it. So there is no down payment. There is no upfront pay. So we use it as much we use it, we pay it. Pay for usage only. Scale with your business. Yeah. If our business grows, we need more servers, we need more computing power. We will take them. If business slow down after the peak holiday season, we will slow it down. So so that we don't have to allocate a lot of money. So just we will spend as much as needed, right? So see, Scale and security. See, don't worry about backup. Earlier we discussed somewhere, right? So we don't have to worry about backup, as our plan covers that. Automate, there is always a automatic backup, so we don't have to worry about it. Expand globally, as I told you, right? It's a, as long as we have internet anywhere in the world, we are all connected to the cloud. Security built in. The security is a responsibility of the cloud provider. They takes care of it. Innovations, cloud first, mobile first, utilize cloud native innovations such as machine learning and business analytics fail fast. So I told you, right, there are a lot of innovations coming up, machine learning based learning, and business analytics. So see, nowadays actually most of the markets are driven by analytics. So nowadays, if you do the, if you see the purchases on Amazon, on any website, right? Yeah, everything is based on the analytics. They see that, what are the customers' interest. So there is a lot of analytical work happens behind the scene. So that's why, sometimes when you open your emails, you keep getting like some emails, which is pretty much catches our attention, because behind the scene, they do a lot of analytics. How the Facebook makes money? Facebook makes the money, they capture a lot of interest, user interest, and there is a lot of analytical work happens behind the scene when we use any one of those cloud-based platforms. So they use a lot of technologies like machine learning and artificial intelligence and a lot of things actually. So the more and more, they automate it actually. They automate a lot of manual process actually. So so that the user can, the companies can focus more on the innovations instead of doing the day-to-day routine work. You see that rules engagement have changed, but many are still rules 60 years. Okay. Rise of artificial intelligence, 85% of the customer interactions will be managed without a human by 2020. You see that, right? Most of the, when we make phone calls to the doctor office, or when we make a lot of things, bank, right? Most of the things are like the calls are like bots, automatic bots. We don't have to worry about. By the time we get the actual customer care representative, there will be multiple conversations between us and a machine, right? So all these things are like artificial intelligence based. The physical and the digital worlds are converging. This is all advantage, like, more innovations. So these are all cloud-based applications and innovations, so he keep talks about it. We use most of them in our day-to-day. So convergence of technology, cloud, data intelligence. So, for any data analytics, right? So what they will do, they will gather the data and they will analyze the data. They will gather and they will analyze the data. Based on it, they will make decisions, right? Intelligence. How the system acquire the intelligence? Based on the data, system, it keep learning. It's like a machine learning, what it will do. It's like a rule based, right? So when we do task A, and we will make it as a rule, and we will feed it to the system. Then system knows that something happened. So next time onwards, system knows that when certain thing happen, so it has to make the step A. Then when step B, we will teach the mission. We will make it like a rule based, and we will feed that rule to the mission. So next time when thing B happened, then system knows that it has to take care of B. So yeah, this is intelligence. Empower your employees to deliver, differentiate. So there is, how we empower our, how do we empower our employees at the workplace? These are like empower your employees delivering. These are some of the concepts actually. You will see them all in the videos. Okay, I don't have to read them again. So what are the advantages of cloud computing? Economic benefits. So I will explain some other time, the capex and opex. It's maybe too early to discuss all of them. So business transformation. Okay, what are the cost saving associated with the cloud data center size? So yeah, I told you, right? Data centers, generally they set up, away from the regular busy real estate, right? Generally, those are away from the regular busy locations. So we don't have to worry about it. They maintain the data centers for us. We don't have to worry about the regular power and other infrastructure costs. So everything will be taken care of the data center providers. But only thing we have to do, we have to pay the money, whatever we use their services. So if you maintain all of them by ourselves, it's not only real estate costs, but also infrastructure costs, but also we have to hire a lot of power people, right? So all these things can be cost cutting and will be maintained by the data center itself. Okay, cloud computing offers compelling economic benefits via low cost and resource efficiency. That's what we have been discussing, right? Cloud cost of agility between CapEx and OpEx, and can transform business process through efficiency, innovations, and insight. So we can focus more on, see, CapEx is like instead of putting the money up front, OpEx means operational cost. So what we can do, the more we use, we pay the money. So we don't have to invest money upfront. When we have to spend a lot of money upfront, when we have to spend money on the infrastructure. But now the infrastructure, buildings, servers, and all these things will be taken care of first for us, so that we don't have to worry about it. Cloud enables business transformations as a CapEx can be, purpose to drive innovations and greater cost transparency is created. See, all these things are in the video. Just go through those all 13 lessons. They should not take more than 2 hours. Go through them, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Yeah, here it is, Soumya. Duplicate workloads. Companies can also duplicate product workloads, run in parallel to one premise product servers, allow companies to ensure workload continue to function as expected. Something happened at one location, still it is guaranteed that their business, resilience, it continues because they maintain the product workload at duplicate locations. You got it? Decommission on-premises machine and move to the operation expenditure model. Yeah. So these are all advantages actually. So we already cover it actually. In our discussions we cover it. So I will provide this PPT anyway. Yeah, in the past, opting servers with more than needed. See, the problem with the regular conventional servers is, they don't know how many servers they want. They don't know how much infrastructure they want. So they have to forecast upfront and they have to invest money on that. But actually in the cloud computing, it is you pay on go. So as much as you use it and you pay it. So there is no scope for wastage. But if we have to do everything ourselves, we have to rent a big building and we have to put all the infrastructure ourselves, and we have to do all those things ourselves, right? So obviously there is a lot of capex. Capex means upfront capital investment. But operational, when it is operational, as per your business need, you will use it and you will pay it. That is like operational expenditure, OpEx. And there is one question on this one also. Reduce TCO, total cost of ownership. So see, total cost of ownership in our what is that cloud model, we don't own the we don't own the servers, we don't own the building, we don't own any infrastructure. What we do, we are just renting it. We use it and we pay the money. But in the real conventional model, what we have to do, we have to rent our own building and we have to we have to install our own servers. That is all owning, mean we are putting a lot of money. So saving on costly IT infrastructure and data centers, because we are just renting them and we use them as per our uses, we will pay them. Reduce operational cost for power, heat, and light. We don't have to pay for that. And the data center guys, they maintain those data centers, their infrastructure and all the basic things. We will pay them as much as needed. Ongoing savings on the cost of technical staff needed to maintain IT equipment. We don't maintain IT equipment at all, and we don't have a building, we don't have infrastructure, we don't have to take care of all the power. And where is the question of having a technical staff? That is the responsibility of the data center. They maintain everything and we will use their service and we will pay the money as much as we use them, as long as we use them. It is like all rental agreement. We don't have to worry about it. So that is the beauty of this cloud computing and data centers. And look for commitment for data cloud. Security, they take care of it. Privacy and control, compliance, transparency, reliability. So yeah, look for commitments from the cloud provider. When the cloud provider provides, we need to get the guarantee from them. Okay, what is the security? Because I'm going to put all my software and I'm going to put all my employees' data. I'm going to put all my customer data at your location. So what is your security policies? And what are the privacy? What are the compliance? What is the transparency? reliability. These are the things actually we have to look. We have to take the commitments from them. When we install our software in the data center, generally most of the data centers give us a guarantee that if our website is down or whatever reason something is down, so they have to get it back in a certain time. If not, they have to compensate us. They have to compensate, they have to compensate credit hours, or money, or whatever it is. So these are the things we have to consider when we make any agreement with data centers. So security is not about the platform. It's a platform, intelligence, and partnership, right? So it's not like one person responsibility. See, if we have everything in our home, right, that is our responsibility. But when we put our data and everything on the data center, so it is a common responsibility between data center and us. Data center maintains all the infrastructure and infrastructure security. But this is our responsibility too, to maintain the security of the data, whatever we are putting, because that is our data. So that is our responsibility. But they maintain responsibility for the software, maintain the responsibility for the infrastructure, servers, basic security. But it is like a partnership between two parties. So yeah, there are around 23,000 Microsoft partners in UK. How do you identify which one to work with? Okay, so Microsoft partners, this is there are a lot of partners. See, when the cloud providers, right, like Azure, Microsoft, or AWS, so the story won't stop there. They have a lot of partners, third-party partners. They work with them. They provide a lot of additional services. They work with them. So in UK itself, there are like 23,000 Microsoft partners. So I'm sure AWS has even more partners. Lot of partners. They work with them. They provide additional services.
So it's a kind of franchises, right?
Yeah, like third-party applications. See, for example,
Yeah,
third-party
Yeah.
applications. So Microsoft or AWS, they provide a platform, but there are a lot of software applications are coming up, right? So they are behind the scene. They are using their applications. They are using their platform.
So they are like renting, you can say the sub rent they are doing, right? They are renting the Azure platform and then they are again renting to the small vendors or what.
Yeah, they can do that.
Like
And
that
not
they are
only, not only that, actually what they will do, see, Azure or Microsoft, Azure or AWS, then they provide some basic functionality, right? See, third parties, actually, they can enhance that functionality. See, or Azure or AWS, they provide, out of box solution, right? So what these people do, the third parties, actually, they can enhance their functionality. For example, there are a lot of products actually. They can access AWS servers directly. There is a third-party application called RoyalTS. Using the RoyalTS, actually we can connect to the AWS servers directly from our laptop. AWS does not provide that. AWS always expect us to go through the AWS portal and access the servers. But there is a third-party application called RoyalTS. So when we purchase RoyalTS, like $50 or something, so it will help us to access the server directly. So this is a third-party application, but they partner with AWS, right? If the AWS doesn't have an agreement with RoyalTS, right? AWS does not allow RoyalTS to access their servers directly. It's a breach, security breach. So there is a partnership between the third-party RoyalTS and AWS, so that so that our users like us, we can access AWS servers using the third-party tool RoyalTS. So like that, they have a lot of partners. The partners can be software partners. Software partners can be vendor partners also, who sell these Microsoft products or who sell, who market those AWS products.
Yeah, got it. But it's still like you were saying they can directly access to the servers, like third party vendors, those who are selling to the person, they can directly access. So it's a kind of breach only, right?
Yeah. It's kind of, collaboration between them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I recommend you guys go through all those 30 lessons and give the quiz. Okay, 24 questions, pretty straightforward, and most of those questions actually covered in the slides. Okay, so hopefully you will nail them easily. Do you have any questions? Sorry, it's a one go. It may be too much, but go through all those 13 lessons. But if you have any specific questions, let me know. If I can answer you right away, I will do that, once you study those lessons, right? But if if I cannot, I will get back to you. Okay. Hope these slides are helpful, but I know it's too much to take in a single shot, but go through those 13 lessons. They go like really nice pace, pretty much you guys can grasp it actually. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Raviji. It was actually pretty, you made it like really very simple in simple words and you explained it really good. Um, so, in a simple words, if I have to say that, cloud computing is like what we are using on every day-to-day basis, and even when you actually said about Facebook, I was thinking, the same thing with Insta and everything. When we use filters and everything, that's already there for us as
Yeah.
a platform,
Software as
right?
a solution. Actually, software as a solution.
Right, software as a
Yeah,
service.
software as a solution. Yeah.
So, yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, sir. It was really very helpful.
Yeah.
I hope we can do the test today.
Oh yeah, those are easy actually. Most of the things actually we cover it actually in our
Mm.
in our discussion. So what you guys I recommend, go through all those 13 chapters, right? So on average it takes like 10 minutes. Few of them are like 12, 13, 14 minutes, but few of them are like even 4 minutes, 5 minutes. So they explain very well. So okay, let us do one thing actually. Anyway, it came into our discussion, right? Let us discuss Office 365. There is another course on Office 365 also.
Mm-hmm.
So next one, let us pick it up. But what I recommend you guys, right? So I will share all those 7 courses, whatever I pick up for you guys out of this 204. So I know that few of you guys already finished finished this certification. I know that few people ping me separately. So if you guys want to wait for me, you can wait for me, but you guys can go ahead and do that also, because this is all self-learning pace. Okay. You are welcome to join my class, because I have to consider all the students, right? So I have to go a little bit slow. And I promise next class onwards I will make it even further slow. But if you are comfortable, please go ahead and do your what is that do the study in your own pace, and give those exams. Very easy, very simple.
So I don't know, but I have one thing in my mind. How what kind of questions, like interview questions, they will ask, like in the, for example, as a BA, if I'm going to give, although you are saying you are preparing for like 4 or 5 fields at a time, right? So is there any relation for everything in common, right? I don't know how to,
Yeah,
like for example, like Microsoft 365 question they are asking, I think in every interview, whether, because it's a kind of tool every organization is using.
yeah. Right. So I mean, they may not ask how we do the editing in Office 365 kind of thing, right? But they expect us we have good idea about Office 365, because nowadays pretty much people are using that, right? Like SharePoint, right? So when we put it on the cloud SharePoint application, right, we expect that we share the link with the rest of the teams, right? So that's what pretty much they expect us to know pretty much about Office 365. Especially Teams is like nowadays, Microsoft is promoting Teams anyway, so they are using it for the instant messaging. Teams or Slack, but Teams being the Microsoft product, many companies they use Teams as well. Teams for the chatting, or even the web chatting.
Yeah, so I just giving one example only because they're specifically asking about, like, just if we'll take the AWS, like, okay, so good knowledge about the using the AWS, and then other things related to the AWS or like Azure. So they are specifically asking like for some particular providers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, so I have to practice maybe like how I can use this training answering those questions.
Yeah, definitely. Those lessons are pretty helpful. See, whatever we are doing is right, it's not like a master level, right? Just whatever we are doing is like basic fundas. We are touch base with all of them, and we are not stopping there, right? So we are getting like a certification. So, but let us not stop that learning there. You know, there are tons of videos available, right? You know, so we can expand it even further. See, cloud, there are a lot of certifications. Whatever we have discussed today, that's just you know, the basic surface level. You know, like a 10,000 feet level.
Right.
But at least we got some idea, right? We got some idea. We see that, you know, the scope of
You
this.
made it easy actually.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah. Okay, team. There is issue going on at my workplace. That's why my boss tried to reach out to me while we were in the middle of the presentation. So if you let me, right, you know, we can catch up next week. Is it okay?
Yes, Ravi. Yeah.
Yeah. So I will share this PowerPoint presentation a little later. But meanwhile, you know, I already shared the link. Please go ahead and hit the exam. Okay.
Okay. Thank you,
Yeah.
brother.
But I
Thank
know
you.
that some of them already completed it. I know that. Congratulations, and you guys are rocking. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Ravi Garu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good
My
night.
pleasure. Yeah. Good night.
Good night. Take care.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Anna. Good night.
Good night, Lily.